This time I've got to reset my grid. Work environment. I want my grid spacing to be 6. Come on. There we go. Okay. Helps me. Bump that up to 200. Thank you. And go and pick up your turning angle tool, satin option. Now we know our machines don't really like wide zigzag. That's all satin stitch is zigzag. So what I want you to do this time is create a 6mm wide column. Hold down the control key. It's got to be a decent length. Hold down control. Hit enter. Go into object details. Ask why it's showing me that. It's only 6mm wide. Doesn't need an auto split in it. And I'm leaving it up at the 109% fill. Okay. I take the underlay out. There we go. Right. There's our column. And it's got to be a decent length. Don't think, oh, I'll just do it 20mm long. No. Do it so as it fills a reasonable length in your hoop. I don't know what that is in US. Let's have a look. That's Imperial, by the way, an American Imperial, which is not the same as British Imperial. So it's only 3 inches, just over 3 inches tall. Okay. Put that back to metric. Now I'm going to grab that and I'm going to move it over this way, and I'm going to change that to weave fill and no underlay. Great. Come back to the fill stitch and leave that just as that is. Okay. There's the weave fill. Click on this one. Come down to outline. OK. Click on this one. Come down to outline. OK. And there's our 2 outlines. I'm going to marry that one and that one, because I want to repeat all these now. Tell it group. Group. And then this one and this one. Tell it group. Right. Now I want the 2 of them and I'm going to right click into that and pull them over. Teeny bit further. Ah, no, Maggie. Silly woman. I right clicked again. Move him over just a little bit. Look, a little bit more airway between these. There you go. You've got about 12mm between that one and that one. Let's just move that one over a bit more. Move this one over a bit more. And then I can move this one over a bit more. Now I want about 2 squares between each of them. There we go. 2. 2. Right. Why is it showing me a double black line up there? Oh, that's my my vertical central line. Oh, Maggie. Right. I want that one and I want that one. I'm going to right click, drag them over. And just move them back a touch. We know this one has no underlay. We know this one has no underlay. Click on this one. Go into Object Reshape. Sorry, Object Details. And drop that to 100. Go into Underlay. Click on it. 6mm wide, center run, not a lot of good. Edge run and zigzag. Okay, okay. Then we click on this one. And we go in and we tell this one, stitch spacing, 4.3. Edge run and weave, fine. Then we come to this one and we go down to Object Details and we drop this one down to 95. And then we say to it, underlay, edge run and double zigzag. No, we'll still do edge run and zigzag on this one. Okay. Then we come to this one and we go into Object Details and we tell this one 4.5 and we go to underlay, edge run and weave at 4.5, that should be ample. Then we come to this one and we come down here and we tell that one I want that down at 90. Yeah. Underlay. Let's turn the underlay on. And we want edge run and double zigzag. And we tell that OK. Then we come to this one. So I did 0.4, 0.43, 0.45. This one I'm going to do is 0.5. Object Details. 0.5. And then I go into Underlay. And I tell this one edge run and double zigzag. No, edge run and double, Maggie. Now you can change the colour of your threads so you know which one is which. You're going to have to keep changing your thread anyway because you've got red and black. But the reason I want you to do the outline as soon as you've stitched is so that any distortion that occurs won't affect this outline too badly. Otherwise, if you do all your satin stitching first or all your columns first, then you go back and do these could end up miles away. And I want you to compare the outlines with the stitching. And you may find that your outline stitching is a couple of mils away by the time you get to the end. I doubt it, but. And I want you to take a really good look at what happens in the central area of your stick on all types. Doesn't matter if it's the satin or if it's the fill. Look at what happens in the center area. See which has the greatest effect, the satin stitch or the fill stitch. Now, when you digitize for parallel tool, you make what I call the middle edge spread. We want it 6 millimeters wide. So the first thing we do is we drop down a little from where we want it. And we bring our nodes in a bit. That might be a bit too much, but then when we come down, when we get to roughly the center, we spread our nodes a little bit. And you can use a right if you want. Then when we get to the bottom, we drag our node, we lift it up a teeny bit, and we drag our nodes in a little bit. Oh, get in there. I can't get it the width I want, but so in effect you're creating this shape, because when that stitches, the top stitches splay out, they've got elbow room. The center stitches pull in as if they're wearing an old-fashioned girdle, and this helps to counteract that. You wouldn't do it quite as obviously as I've done it here, but that's how we need to use if we're doing long satin shapes. Now, Stephen asked a question: does satin stitch affect on the bias more if the angle is also on the bias? Anything that's stitched on the bias is going to affect it.